Tag management as a tool is mission critical for e-commerce, but as we can see from the Yottaa Web Performance Index data, it can be problematic for site speed and web performance. So, Shawn, what's up with that?
Every site has a tag manager on it nowadays. It kind of bridges that gap between marketers who need to get a tag on site and the engineering team who need to build and maintain the code. It's the biggest category that we see in Yotta's Web Performance Index. So this is tracking performance of third parties across hundreds of different sites and hundreds of millions of page views. And tag management is used on 98% of sites, with Google Tag Manager being the top third party. So what's the deal? Why are these problematic? The Tag Manager empowers the business team to make changes to the website without the developers. The development process can be slow, but this is for a reason. It's to protect the quality of the website, protect performance, protect security. And so sometimes tag management can act as a Trojan horse, which kind of circumvents slow development processes. This means that the responsibility for who manages the tags can get lost between the teams, much like performance in general. So who owns the tag manager is a conversation that comes up in nearly all of our audits. There's often no owner, no clear process, or like a weak process around managing what's in there and giving, updates and life cycle of the tags. Tech debt, therefore, tends to accumulate in tag managers, and this impacts performance. So what we usually see is that this is a negative impact on INP. Tag managers are often used to load analytics scripts. And so very often it's, fire this event when this page is viewed or when this button is clicked. And there are many listeners in a tag manager that are waiting for click or waiting for interaction or for scroll and then firing off events to analytics platforms. Sometimes these analytics platforms are no longer even being used, or the data in there is not being actioned. And so our recommendation in general is do an audit periodically of the contents of your tag manager and treat it like software. It is software that's running on your website. Also, every analytics vendor is going to suggest that you load their code immediately in the head.
I'll go first, honey.
So as soon as the user lands on site, they get the beacon back to say, we were the result of this visit, or we want the attribution for this page view.
I want the credit.
When tag management and analytics reporting is competing with rendering and showing the user experience, then we might be sending back a beacon to the analytics platform for a page view that has just a white screen. So prioritize the first party UX and the reason that this page exists above and beyond, telling Facebook that someone saw product XYZ. Of course, you want to get that data to them, but prioritizing first party over third party code is really good for that.
So, with all the universe of tags and all different types of apps that you might be using here, what's the best practice for handling all of them?
In the absence of having a program in place, the best practice would be a very tedious and sort of heavy lift, which is you have a database of every script that's running and you decide when it should fire. And this can be overwhelming for teams of, one or two marketers, or if you've got an outsourced dev team, or alternatively, if you've got 4 or 5 development teams across 2 or 3 different continents, and then marketing teams that are reporting to them or working with them, it can become just spaghetti. So we can help by doing a site speed audit, and some of the work that we do often uncovers obsolete tags. A recent audit just found 16 tags on one of our clients that were no longer running. And so we recommended turn them off, and it made a significant impact on INP. More generally, though, Yottaa has tooling for application sequencing, so prioritize first-party code, and it uses intelligence based on the thousands of sessions and hundreds of sites that we monitor to say this can be deferred or this can be delayed until after the page load event. So a little bit more granularity based on the state of the web, instead of you having to know all of this off the top of your head.